I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get to the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, first let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show and what you're good and educated about the show. Well, that's when you click on that merchandise tab. It can take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you've come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck, all still available in our online store, whether that's socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets. Makes no difference to us. Something like 88 different items in our online store. We've made it easy. We've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this operation, so here's how you can support the Renegades of Puck. You can find us on X and Threads, Facebook, and Instagram. You can also find us on TikTok, so please jump in the trenches on whichever of those platforms you prefer. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it doesn't take you but a second, but it sure goes a long way to helping out this hockey operation here, known as the Renegades of Puck. You can catch the audio podcast in a number of different places, and we sure would appreciate it if you would continue checking it out. You can find us on Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, and several different podcast platforms. So please just search for Renegades of Puck in your preferred platform today. Thanks to the Full Press NHL Network and the Full Press Predators podcast, we are quickly approaching 10 million all-time downloads and replays for the history of the show. That's pretty incredible work, and it's been done by each and every one of you Renegades of Puck out there watching and listening to the show right now. So again, you can find us on numerous podcast platforms. You can also find us on YouTube, so check us out right there. If you don't mind, give us a subscription right there on a YouTube channel. Just search Renegades of Puck on YouTube and check out the latest episodes of Renegades of Puck TV. Check out all of our recap and preview segments, our interview segments, and all of our different special event segments. We'll have different coverage coming up this weekend. Spartans wrapping up the home season in this area. We'll have those highlights packages on our YouTube channel as well, so make sure you check it out. That's the Renegades of Puck on YouTube. Venmo, that's how you can support the show financially, so please go to Venmo and search Renegades of Puck or scan the QR code that is currently on your screen. Every dollar goes an incredibly long way to helping the Renegades of Puck, building the studio and the set you see in front of you, and working on the technology and everything else behind the camera and behind the scenes. We are looking to build an HVAC system out here that will properly maintain temperature and climate control in our studio. Too hot, too cold. These make things difficult for the equipment, also for the human host that has to operate the equipment. So if you can spare a dollar, it will go a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck getting in position now. Because listen, it's time for the No Half Step in Hockey coverage. It's time for operation number 874. That's right. Time for show number 874. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 5th place in the Central Division after 57 games skated. They have a record of 30, 25, and 2, 62 points, has them 2 points behind the 4th place, has them tied with the 4th place St. Louis Blues, and has them 11 points behind the 3rd place Winnipeg Jets for an automatic playoff qualifying spot. I'll update the entirety of the Central Division here momentarily. The Preds on the road, where they have 2 more games left on this 5-game road trip, have an impressive season record of 16, 10, and 2. They scored 176 goals on the year. They've given up 183. Their goal differential is -7. Now, the Preds' next game will be in San Jose against the Sharks, the first of a back-to-back in California, San Jose, and then Anaheim on Sunday. But before we can get into that matchup and the rest of the weekend, let's go back and talk about the Central Division and the most recent stats and standings updates. The Dallas Stars are still in 1st place after 58 games skated. They have 76 points. They are 1 point ahead of the 2nd place Colorado Avalanche. They are 3 points ahead of the 3rd place Winnipeg Jets. And the Winnipeg Jets have skated in 4 fewer games than Dallas and Colorado. Only 54 games. That's the least amount of games skated in the entirety of the Central Division. So with games and points in hand, the Winnipeg Jets have every opportunity to overtake Dallas and Colorado with quite a bit of ease. The 3-team weave looks like it will continue at the top of the Central Division all the way into the final periods of the season. No doubt that 2-3 matchup in the Central, as it has been the last couple of years, is going to be a killer for some team that's had a really, really good season. Now, moving on from who is in the division chase pack to the wild card chase pack, that's going to be St. Louis in 4th place with 62 points, Nashville in 5th fifth place with 62 points, and then Minnesota in sixth place with 58 points, falling off quickly as of late. The Arizona Coyotes are going to be in seventh place with 50 points. Now they have fallen 12 points behind Nashville, and the Chicago Blackhawks continue to be in eighth place where they have been all season long, 33 points on the season. In the wild card, since I mentioned the wild card chase pack, you're going to find the LA Kings, the Seattle Kraken, the Calgary Flames. Those are the teams of note from the Pacific Division that are all involved in the chase right now. LA holds wild card 1. 66 points on the season. St. Louis holds wild card 2 currently with 62 points. First team on the outside looking in is the Nashville Predators at 62, and then Seattle Kraken at 59 points. So again, St. Louis, Nashville, Minnesota from the Central, and it's looking a lot like LA, Seattle, Calgary from the Pacific Division. Those are going to make up, I think, the 6 teams that are the most relevant in the wild card chase pack for this Nashville Predators team. One more game to go on this 5-game road trip. It was make or break, and so far they've made it. After this game in San Jose, they will head off Sunday to take on the Anaheim Ducks. 2 games in less than 24 hours before getting a day off and getting an opportunity to travel home to face off against the Ottawa Senators on Tuesday night. Thursday night against the Minnesota Wild on March the 2nd. We're all ready to march versus the Colorado Avalanche on the 5th of March versus the Montreal Canadiens. The season series between the Preds and the Sharks. This is the hinge game of the series, the second of 3, back on October the 21st, very early in the season. Before we knew just how bad the San Jose Sharks were going to be, the Nashville Predators scored a 5-1 victory over San Jose. UC Saros got the win, 31 out of 32 in the game. Novak had 2 goals. Evangelista had a goal and an assist for 2 points. Sherwood a goal and an assist for 2 points. Nyquist 2 assists in the game. Blackwood got the start for San Jose, 29 out of 34, took the loss. Thomas Hertel, as he usually does against the Nashville Predators, picked up a goal in that game. These 2 teams will play one more time. It'll happen at Bridgestone Arena. That'll happen on March the 19th. Now, for the San Jose Sharks, I've already alluded to the fact that they are very bad. In case you haven't been tracking, they are 15-35-5 on the season. They have only 35 points. They're 8th in the Pacific Division. They still have 2 more points than the Chicago Blackhawks do at this point in the year. 9-15-2 on home ice is terrible. 116 goals for, 211 goals against is also terrible, and a goal differential of -95. In their most recent stretch of action, let's go back previous to the All-Star break, 131 January 31st. It was a 3-2 overtime loss at Anaheim, and then 2 weeks off before coming back on February the 14th and taking a 1-0 loss at Winnipeg. Then on the 15th, a 6-3 win at Calgary. On the 17th of February, a 4-3 loss versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. And most recently, on the 19th of February, a 4-0 loss versus Vegas, giving up 3 goals early in the first period and really never in that game. When it comes to the NHL rankings in this matchup, updated to this afternoon, the Nashville Predators 3.05 goals per game is 19th in the NHL. The San Jose Sharks at 2.09 goals per game is 31st in goals against. San Jose is giving up 3.76 per game. That is 32nd, dead last in the NHL, while the Predators giving up 3.21. That is 20th in the shots for category. Preds are generating 31 on net per game. That's 14th in the NHL. San Jose only generating 25.6 shots on net per game. That is 32nd in the NHL. Same in the shots against category. 35.4 is the most. They are also 32nd rated in that category, while the Predators giving up 30.5 shots per game are rated 20th in the NHL. When it comes to special teams, the Nashville Predators are going to be favored. It's one of the few times we're going to say it all season long. Favored in both of these particular metrics. Power play. Preds converted 18.7%, is 21st overall in the NHL. 37 out of 198 opportunities. The San Jose Sharks power play converting at 17.3%. That's 24th rated in the NHL. 3 spots behind the Preds. Only 23 conversions on the season out of 133 opportunities, so they don't score very many, and they don't earn very many power plays. On the penalty kill, the Predators killing off 75.3%. That's 27th. No, that's not good. 45 power play goals against. That is certainly not good, but it is better than the San Jose Sharks. 74.7% is their kill rate. 29th is their ranking. 45 power play goals against, the same as the Nashville Predators. So when it comes to the rankings and the ratings we just talked about, San Jose is last in the league in 3 of those 6 categories. 31st in a 4th category, 29th in a 5th category, and their highest statistical ranking in the league, is 24th in this listing, and that is on the power play. So for the Nashville Predators, this is frankly a game that they must win. Not something I like to say often, because in the NHL you cannot take any opponent lightly, but the Nashville Predators simply need to defeat a team that is so deficient in so many different ways in the rankings and the ratings in the NHL, and also currently has so few victories on the season. When it comes to the individual stats for any of these teams, you'll find some impressive players, and Thomas Hertl always does well against the Nashville Predators. He has 15 goals and 19 assists on the season for 34 points to pace the San Jose Sharks. Mikhail Granlund at 6 goals and 25 assists, 31 points, is second overall in San Jose. Eklund's got 8 goals and 17 assists for 25 points. Zetterlund, 15 goals and 8 assists for 23 points. And Duclair, 11 goals and 8 assists for 19 points. Over on the Nashville Predators side of things, a little bit more impressive in the numbers. The Predators' top scorer, Philip Forsberg, is 21 points ahead of the San Jose Sharks' top scorer. And it's not like the Nashville Predators have a truly dynamic offense. They really don't. Philip Forsberg has 26 goals, 29 assists, 55 points, has fallen 2 points below a point per game pace. That's going to be tough to recapture here in February, when he is supposed to be at his hottest, and this road trip is not treating him as kindly as I had thought it would. Captain Roman Josi, second on the team in scoring, 11 goals, 41 assists for 52 points, catching Forsberg very quickly. O'Reilly, 20 goals and 27 assists, has 47 points. Nyquist at 13 and 30 for 43, and we've got a tie in 5th place for the Nashville Predators in scoring again. Sissons, 15 goals and 14 assists for 29 points. Tommy Novak, 12 goals, 17 assists for 29 points. Wanted to give them both credit because they've both been playing very good hockey as late, especially on this road trip to this point. In net, you see Saros got the first start, picked up the victory against the Sharks this season, going 31 out of 32 back on October the 21st. And he has a record on the season now, 22, 21, and 2. A lot of 2s in there. 904 is his save percentage. 2.97 is the goals against average with 2 shutouts on the season. Blackwood started against the Preds in the first game of the season, took the loss, going 29 out of 34 on the season. Now his record, 918 and 3, and 898 save percentage, 3.51 goals against average. It's the 4th of 5 games on this road trip for the Nashville Predators. It is the first of back-to-backs in less than 24 hours for the Nashville Predators, and it is certainly a game that the Nashville Predators cannot look ahead of and cannot take lightly. All of the goals that they have to make this road trip incredibly successful are right there in front of them. They've managed to secure victories in the first 3 stops. Now, what can they accomplish in San Jose and then Anaheim? They need to put all of the pressure on San Jose and come away with the 2 points in this one. That's got you all set up. Another late night start, but we'll be back in the bunker right after that game, breaking it down. Don't worry about a single thing when it comes to that. That's going to do it for the preview. We've got to get to the recap. It's called the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap, and it's coming up next on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. We go all the way back to February the 22nd of the year 2024, where the Nashville Predators were in LA to take on the Kings for the 3rd and final time this regular season. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines in the following way: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Trennan, Sissons, and Glass, Jankowski, Novak, Evangelista, Smith, McCarron, and Sherwood make up your 4th line. Your defensive pairings are Josi and Fabro, McDonough and Shen, Luzon and Carrier. Same line, same D pairings since the beginning of this road trip. UC Saros gets the start in net in LA. We are 5:56. That's right, 5:56. The first 5 minutes of this game were very tightly played, very physical, a lot of between the face-off dots, but not much offensive zone time for either team. So we get to the 5:56 mark of the first period. That's where we find big save Dave Riddick coming up with a save on Ryan McDonough, plus the much better follow-up by Jankowski. That would be the first shot on goal of the game. Tight, physical opening to this game. 6:57 of the first period. UC Saros now coming with a save on Kaliev, his first save of the game. At 8:08 of the first period, it's Riddick coming with a save on Nyquist. At the 8:25 mark, it's Saros coming with a save on Lewis, plus the rebound bank shot attempt from below the goal line near the end wall. Slick play by Lewis did not catch Saros off guard or unaware. At the 8:47 mark, that's right, we went several minutes without anything happening, and just in the 8-minute mark, we've had so much action. At the 8:47 mark of the first period, it's Yakov Trenin getting his 9th goal of the season, getting the Nashville Predators on the board. The first goal of the game. It was the fake forehand and then the backhand finish into the empty net. Riddick was able to get the glove on it just a little bit, but only enough to help push it across the goal line. 1-0 in favor of the Nashville Predators. We cross over the halfway point of the first period, and we find at 10:59 the first. The captain, Roman Josi, is off to the box. 2 minutes for slashing is our first penalty of the game. The Nashville Predators penalty kill, certainly not the better PK unit in this game, but stepping up right here, not allowing a single shot on goal for the LA Kings. An excellent PK by the Nashville Predators at the 13:28 mark of the first period. It's Riddick coming with save on Forsberg after the defense for the Kings turns the puck over at 14:33 of the first period. It's Kempe and McCarron off to the box, 2 minutes each, 4-on-4. We would not see a single shot on goal. Again, more very tight checking hockey here between these two clubs. At the 17:44 mark of the first period, it is Smith off to the box, 2 minutes for high sticking. Saros on the continuation, or on the play that the penalty was taken on, comes up with the big time save on Lafreniere. Trennan then picks up a penalty, 2 minutes for tripping. Not the most ideal PK for the Nashville Predators. A 5-on-3 is created for the LA Kings for 1 minute and 1 second, and that's when, yes, former Nashville Predator Kevin Fiala is putting the puck into the net. A wrist shot from the high slot. He's able to walk in, pick his spot, pick his time, and then he unleashed a sick wrister for his 15th goal of the season, getting LA on the board, tying this game at 1 apiece. A strong PK by the Preds after that to close out the period. Now, not a lot of shots on goal, 1 goal apiece for each team. LA outshoots Nashville 6-5 in the first period. We go to the second period, and we are 1:17 into the second. We find Riddick coming with a save on Forsberg. The first shot on goal of the second came about 4 minutes faster than the first shot on goal in the first period. 1:57 in the second period. Juicy Saros coming with the save on Dowdy. 2:46 of the second period. Riddick coming with the save on Tommy Novak. 3:26 of the second period. Juicy Saros coming with the save on Roy. 3:30 mark. Saros comes up with the save on Lewis right off the face-off right there. At the 4:10 mark, though, Lewis is off to the box. Minutes for tripping, putting the Nashville Predators back on the power play. It's Riddick coming in with a save on Forsberg, and the puck goes from the glove off of the post and out. That was the closest the Nashville Predators would come to a good scoring opportunity on that power play at the 6:21 mark of the second period. It's UC Saros coming with a save on Kempe at the 6:54 mark of the second period. It's Riddick coming up with a save on Michael McCarron. 7:56 into the second period. It's Riddick coming up with a save on Nyquist. Teams exchanging chances here towards the middle of the period. The 9:52 mark, Saros comes up with a save on Kempe, and then it is at 11:01. We're past the halfway point in this game when Riddick comes up with a save on the captain, Roman Josi, at 14:46 after another couple of minutes of really tight checking between the circles. It's Mark Jankowski coming up with his second goal of the game. This was his type of game. He comes up with a poke of the loose puck through the 5-hole. Big save. Dave couldn't find the puck, and it gets poked in by Jankowski, giving the Nashville Predators a 2-1 lead in this game. A great opportunity there for the Preds, and Jankowski pounced. 15:36 of the second period. It is Riddick coming up with a save on McCarron at the 16:24 mark of the second period. It is Kevin Fiala coming with a penalty. 2 minutes for tripping on Luzon in the offensive zone, but it would be UC Saros having to do the work. The LA Kings having the #1 penalty kill unit in the league, also one of the most lethal when it comes to shorthanded goals in the league. Well, it is in fact UC Saros coming in with the shorthanded breakaway save on Lewis, and while Lewis is trying to jam away at the rebound, UC Saros is doing a good job of keeping that puck trapped against the body and keeping it held to get the whistle. But it is UC Saros having to do the heavy work as the LA Kings get the better of the scoring chances while they are shorthanded. The Nashville Predators power play unable to break through on the #1 PK unit in the league. At the 19:28 mark of the second period, UC Saros, because with a save on Kempe, we go to the end of the second period after 40 minutes of regulation. The Nashville Predators now out shooting LA 16-14. Shots on goal much more impressive in the second period. The Predators generate 11 after only 5 in the first period. The Kings end up with 14 after 2. That means they had 8 in the second period after only having 6 in the first period. We start the third period on the clean sheet, and we're only 18 seconds in. UC Saros already having to go to work in this one-goal game, coming with a save on Dano. 1:45 into the third period. UC Saros is coming with a save on Gavrikov into the 3:17 mark. UC Saros is coming up with another save on Dano. We flip over and we go to the backside of the sheet, and we find the 3:46 mark of the third period. The next piece of action is when UC Saros comes up with a save on Roy. We go to the 4:14 mark, and it is Riddick coming up with a save on Yossi's Trickler. This wasn't much of a good scoring opportunity, much of a shot, but it at least broke the Kings' momentum for a couple of seconds, forcing Riddick to have to hold on to the puck there. 5:57 into the third period. It's UC Saros coming to save on Gavrikov. The rebound cleared by a D. It was left right there in front in the low slot area. Nashville Predators had multiple defenders in the area closing out bodies and clearing sticks, and most importantly, getting the puck out of there. We go all the way to the 10:47 mark of the third period now, and it's Riddick coming up with a save on Sherwood after the turnover by the D. Sherwood just picked that clearing attempt off right there in the middle of the ice, went straight to the net, and a good scoring opportunity for the Nashville Predators. The Predators were very, very good and strong on forecheck and reading passes in this game, especially here in this portion of the third period. At the 11:54 mark of the third period, Susie Sars coming with a save on Byfield's partial breakaway after the shot block turnover. It was Byfield yet again looking to make another highlight reel play. He's already had one against the Predators this year with a hell of a primary assist, and of course coming off of that highlight reel goal just the other night that you will see for the rest of the season, including probably the NHL award show. It's UC Saros stopping Byfield on the partial breakaway in this opportunity. 12:06 of the third period. It's Dano off the box, 2 minutes for tripping. The shots on goal over the course of this power play for the Nashville Predators would be 2 for the Los Angeles Kings and 0 for the Nashville Predators. That PK unit is number 1 for a reason. They are good in every single way you can be on a penalty kill. At the 14:08 mark of the third period, it's UC Saros coming with a save on Roy. At the 15:09 mark of the third period, UC Saros coming with a save on Kaliev off the rush. A good scoring opportunity there by the LA Kings. We go to the empty net scenario at the 16:34 mark of the third period and 16:42. That's where Saros comes up with the 6-on-5 save against Byfield. 17 minutes of the third period. Sissons' 15th goal of the season, empty net goal. Somehow Colton Sissons goes bar down off the crossbar and into the empty net from all the way back in his own zone. That makes it 3-1 in favor of the Nashville Predators at the 17:57 mark of the third period. Juicy Saros coming with a save on Kempe with the empty net scenario again at 19:02, and Saros comes with a save on Kevin Fiallen at 19:07 of the third period. It's Luzon coming up with another empty net goal all the way from down near his own goal line. His 6th goal of the season makes it 4-1 in favor of the Nashville Predators, and that is going to be your final in LA. The Nashville Predators win this game 4-1. LA outshoots Nashville 28-21. It was tight. It was a nail biter, and UC Saros had to come up with a bunch of incredibly important saves, especially when it comes to breakaways and partial breakaways for the LA Kings team. But the Nashville Predators find a way to go into LA and win a game that is of critical and significant importance in the wild card race for the Western Conference. And the Nashville Predators have now found a way to exceed expectations already by winning in St. Louis, Las Vegas, and now in Los Angeles on this road trip. The LA Kings being the most important game of this road trip because of the wild card implications. But the Nashville Predators have secured 6 out of 6 points and winning this game 4-1 in LA. We've got so much more to talk about when it comes to this game. Analysis, box score, and more coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in, Renegades of Puck podcast. Let's talk about some analysis after the Rebirth Sports full game recap just wrapped up. Exciting one, a late one, a very, very tired couple of days here from those West Coast road trips, but they always are. Let's start in net with UC Saros, as we always do. 27 out of 28 in this game, picks up the victory, his 22nd of the season. An incredible performance. The number of breakaways, odd man rushes, partial breakaways, these were opportunities for UC Saros to shine in this game, and he absolutely did. And those are some impressive players. Anze Kopitar getting a good close-in look. Quentin Byfield, who has one of the goals of the entire year in the NHL, getting some time, some space, some room. Kevin Fiala getting a couple of looks at the net. UC Saros was incredible against this LA Kings team in this game. It wasn't the heaviest workload you'll ever see, but 27 out of 28 is a very, very strong performance. One power play save, 4 short-handed saves. That right there against the number one PK unit in the league. The LA Kings are more than just good at shutting down opposing teams' power plays. They're good at scoring short-handed goals, and they were certainly on the prowl in this game as UC Saros had to come up with 4 short-handed saves. Moving on to the skaters, let's start with Colton Sissons. Look, I know his goal was an empty netter, but what a sick empty netter that was. From inside his own blue line, he hits the bottom of the crossbar. The kids call it bar down. Colton Sissons from 150 feet away goes bar down on the empty net. Also picks up 2 assists in this game, probably more important, but that empty netter came at a critical moment when the Predators were under a lot of pressure. 3 points in this game for Colton Sissons. He's one of the most underappreciated Nashville Predators in franchise history. He is the workhorse. He is Andrew Brunette's favorite player. He's a throwback. He takes faceoffs. He's defensively responsible. He plays physical. And this year, chipping in offensively every time he gets the opportunity. The 3 points for Colton Sissons in this game brings him to 15 goals on the season. That ties Colton Sissons' career high, and I think Colton Sissons is going to make a run at 20 goals. Why wouldn't he? He's been incredibly successful so far this season. Colton Sissons, 15 goals now on the season, ties his career high. The 29 points that he has is one shy of his career high. So Colton Sissons, in a year that is supposed to be a rebuild with a brand new head coach, is putting up career offensive numbers, and it's been very fun to watch, very special to watch, and getting opportunities even on the power play, getting to go to the front of the net, and he works incredibly hard. He is good in every facet of the game when given opportunities. That's what makes him such a great bottom 6 depth player, center forward for this Nashville Predators team. He can play anywhere, and he can do anything you need him to do. Jankowski comes into the lineup, comes up from Milwaukee, gets an opportunity, and gets the poke that ends up being the game-winning goal. 1 goal in this game, 2 shots on goal. A poke was one of them. 10:44 in total time on ice, taking advantage of the opportunity right here. Listen, Jankowski crashed the net hard. He found a loose puck that the goaltender, David Riddick, and everybody else was trying to figure out where it was. Well, it was Jankowski that got to it first and poked that thing home. Game-winning goal for Mark Jankowski. Good job. The weirdness of the yo-yo of him getting sent down and called up. Now, listen, that's cost-saving. That's cost-effectiveness by the Nashville Predators. He gets paid at the AHL level when he's assigned to Milwaukee. He gets paid at the NHL level when he's assigned to the Nashville Predators. That doesn't mean he physically, as a human being, moves from Milwaukee to Nashville or from LA back to Milwaukee and then back to San Jose. It just means it's a paperwork thing. It's a cost-cutting thing. It's the Nashville Predators being economically intelligent in the situation. So don't be confused by the he's getting called up, he's getting sent down, he's getting called up, he's getting sent down. The Predators are taking advantage of a little bit of a financial loophole and with his status at this moment in time. For Jankowski, I'm sure it's something his agent cares about quite a bit. Jankowski probably cares a hell of a lot more about that game-winning goal last night in a playoff race in the NHL. Yakov Trenin, good to see him back on the board. He made friends with the glass again, picks up a goal in this game, also had 3 shots on goal, 14:39 in total time on ice, picked up a penalty as well in this game. So for Yakov Trenin, it had been a drought. It's been kind of a weird season for him. He's usually been a little more consistent than this, but maybe this is the beginning of another hot streak for him, and it couldn't come at a better time. Getting offense throughout the lineup is something the Nashville Predators were sorely missing, and on this road trip, it is something they have been able to achieve and maintain. Hopefully that continues through San Jose and Anaheim. We got Got to talk about Luzon as well. Picks up a goal and assists, 2 points in this game. Leads the team with 5 hits. Luzon had an empty netter. Came from all the way down around his own goal line, the length of the ice after a face-off win by Colton Sissons. The game was 3-1. That made it 4-1. That just put things away. But for Luzon, what he's doing out there on the rink right now, he's playing top-notch defense. He's contributing on the offensive side of things. The physical game that he is putting up this season, the physical numbers he's putting up is unparalleled. He's going to break the NHL record for hits in a season. I think perhaps you should take a moment. Maybe the late starts haven't allowed you to stay up and watch every single shift, but you should start paying better attention to Jeremy Luzon and what he's accomplishing out there on the rink, not just from the physical standpoint, from the defensive side of things and the offensive side of things as well. So Luzon, 2 points in this game. Let's give some stick taps to Novak and Evangelista, each picking up an assist, each picking up a point, continuing on with their recent hot streak. Again, we just made reference to and talked about secondary scoring, depth scoring. There it is right there. Evangelista and Novak contributing yet again. Forsberg not on the sheet in this game. Nyquist not on the sheet in this game. O'Reilly not on the sheet in this game, but the Nashville Predators still managed to put up 4 goals in this game. That is good stuff. That's the secondary scoring and the depth scoring that the Predators have been seeking the majority of the season. On this road trip, at least for these couple of games, this small sample size, the Predators have absolutely found it, and I hope that it can continue. This is about what happened last year when the young players really started picking up the pace a little bit and picking up the scoring a little bit, and the Predators went on that hell of a run, even as they were dismantling. This is a team that is not going to be dismantling at all. Let's hear from our good friend Stripe Digital. Let's come back. Let's get into the numbers and the good, cold, hard facts known as the box score. The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions. Welcome back in. Renegades of Puck podcast, West Coast late night starts. Lots of red, bleary eyes, but we are here. The no half-step in spirit will carry us through. Don't worry. Jankowski picks up a goal in this game. Sissons picks up a goal. Trenton picks up a goal. And Luzon picks up a goal. So 3 of the goals come from the forwards, 1 from the defense, and that was an empty net goal. So, again, another game where the forwards are the dominant offensive factor, as it should be. The assist side of things, Colton Sissons picks up 2 in this game. Luzon and McDonough each with 1. Tommy Novak and Luke Evangelista each with 1 assist. Shots on goal. The Nashville Predators only put up 21 shots on goal overall in this game, so Philip Forsberg has 4. That means there's only 17 more shots to spread around. Nobody else on the team has more than 2. Luke Evangelista had 2. Jankowski had 2. Novak had 2. Also go down to defenseman just for fun. Yossi had 2. And McDonough also had 2 shots on net. Not a lot of shots on goal, not a lot of production, but the Predators did score 4 goals on just 21 shots on net in this game. When it comes to the block shots category, we got to go all the way down to defensemen, and we'll see McDonough and Shen tied for the team lead with 4. Nobody else above 2, and that was Colton Sissons. As a matter of fact, Colton Sissons is the only one with 2, so he comes in 3rd on the team in block shots. In the physical component of things, you already know Luzon 5 hits, led the team. Shen also chips in another 4. Some big hits in this game, some impressive hits. Cole Smith also had 2 hits. Sherwood had 2 hits, and out of the forwards, they led the way. When it comes to time on ice leaders, no forwards over 20 minutes. That is good news considering how tight and how close this game was until the empty netters. The head coach managed to manage the ice time really well. Didn't mean to use the word manage 3 times in the same sentence there, but I pulled it off. 1954 on total time on ice for O'Reilly, 1942 for Forsberg, 1854 for Nyquist. No one on the first line, even though all 3 of them led the team in time on ice, registered a single point. And as a matter of fact, O'Reilly with 1 shot on goal, Nyquist with none. Forsberg did have 4, though. Time on ice leaders from the defenseman. Roman Yossi, of course, led the team in total time on ice. 22, 24, 21, 34, Ryan McDonough. When it comes to the power play for the Nashville Predators, 0 for 3, and I understand why. That LA Kings penalty kill unit, again, I'm giving them the credit they deserve because they're the best overall penalty kill unit in the league, but it was just so much more than that. They were just a dominant force. They had more shots on goal on the power play than the Nashville Predators did over the course of these 3 power plays. The time on ice leaders, which is what we're talking about right here, 317 for Forsberg, 312 for Nyquist, 303 for Luke Evangelista, 251 for Sissons, no goals for any of them, 331 for Yossi on the power play. When it comes to penalty kill, the Preds were 2 out of 3 in this game. Your penalty kill time on ice leaders, Colton Sissons at 217, Michael McCarron at 202. On the defensive side of things, Luzon at 324, and McDonough at 253. In net, it was UC Saros 27 out of 28, only 1 goal against, an in-game save percentage of 9.64, 22 even strength saves, 1 power play save, 4 short-handed saves, and again, incredible dynamic odd man rushes, and there were opportunities for the LA Kings to try to bank pucks in off of sharp angles and to get breakaways and partial breakaways. It was an impressive game by UC Saros, picking up his 22nd victory of the season. Some other things falling out of the box score: the face-off winning percentage back down below 50, 43.6%. The LA Kings had their way on the center dot last night. 23 hits, 18 block shots, only 1 takeaway. The Preds were not pursuing the LA Kings nearly enough, but the Preds were putting up one hell of a forecheck in the 1-2-2 there in the third period through the neutral zone. So the 1 takeaway may not be very impressive, but I thought overall the Preds were pretty strong on the puck and very, very hard on their challenges, especially the neutral zone. Now, they weren't perfect, but they were definitely very, very good in that third period. 6 giveaways by the Preds, not great in that particular category. Never want to be on the underside of the takeaway giveaways, especially by 5. Let's close this thing out. 3 out of 3 for the Nashville Predators when it comes to victories. 6 out of 6 when it comes to points going into this road trip. What did we say? We said get 3/4 of the road trip. Over the course of a regular season, you want your team to win minimum 50% of their road games and then carry 2/3 of their home games. That's usually a basic formula for a playoff team. No, not a top 10 contending team or a division winning team, but that is your basic needs to get into the playoffs. Is usually winning 50% of your games on the road and winning 2/3, if not more, on home ice. Well, the Nashville Predators have a losing record on home ice. They have a winning record overall on the season, 30, 25-2, but they have a losing record on home ice of 14-15, and they have what I consider to be a very good record on the road. So the Predators have managed to flip the script. They're running right about 500 on home, but 16-10-2 on the road. And for the Nashville Predators, they have 2 winnable games. Do not overlook the fact the San Jose Sharks only have 35 points on the season, only 15 wins on the season. Do not overlook that. Anaheim has been a tough matchup for the Preds all season long. So for the Predators, they have 4 points left on this road trip. They can eclipse all of our expectations. When I said bring back 75% of the points, 7 out of 10, I was factoring in an incredibly difficult stop in Vegas, which Predators handled with ease. And then I was handling in what I thought was going to be some potential overtime difficulties for the Preds, maybe in LA or perhaps maybe in St. Louis. Preds are taking care of all 3 of those opponents now. And they have what were the 2 most winnable games on the road trip, San Jose and Anaheim, coming up. Don't blow it. Don't give up those 4 points. You have the opportunity to come back to your home rink with more than 80% of the points on this 10-game road trip, and we called it a make or break after that huge loss to Dallas last week and a humiliating defeat on home ice. The Nashville Predators have bounced back incredibly well, responded incredibly well, and it is obvious the players, the coaching staff, everyone is coming into the funnel in the right direction at the right moment in time. Close the trip strong. There's 4 points left. The next 2 against San Jose, I think that they are a must. The Sharks are a team that is easily beatable. If the Predators play the way they did the first 3 games of this road trip, they will come away with 2 points, and they will be 4 for 4 on this road trip, and they will be 8 out of 8 on points, and they will continue putting the pressure on the other teams in the wild card chase pack. I think it's unrealistic to think that the Predators are going to ultimately jump into the top 3 for an automatic qualifying spot, but they are going to raise some hell and battle for a wild card spot in that about 6-7 team wild card pack that is starting to develop as we get down to just about 25 games to go. Trade deadline's coming up. Playoff races are going to be talked about ad nauseum the rest of the way. So that's going to do it for Operation Raid 74. We'll be back in the bunker after the San Jose game, and then we'll be previewing Anaheim. Then we'll be back Sunday night after the Anaheim game to wrap up this full road trip. I sure hope we're talking about some really good news because this road trip has been an incredible 3-game start for this Nashville Predators team. That's going to do it for Operation Raid 174. We got Spartans hockey in town this weekend against Cincinnati Cyclones. I'll be bringing you updates, recaps, and that. Follow me on all the different social media accounts for those updates as I get over there and get get up in the perch and I get on the headset and start calling those games this weekend. It's the last regular season series for the Nashville Spartans. They've clinched the playoff spot. They'll have some home playoff games, but still, the last regular season series, it always brings a lot of excitement, but, also a little bit of sadness because the season, it's about to be over, and another season in the books on the headset. So that's going to do it for Operation 874. We're hosting Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.